First off, just give us a real quick overview of some of the biggest changes to the gameplay in NHL 13.
For NHL 13, really exciting package this year, and it truly is about the package. Innovated our core gameplay experience with a brand new skating engine rebuilt from the ground up. And that was really for us to take the next, big leap with our gameplay, and we'd maxed out what we could do on our old skating engine. So for us to take that new leap, we had to add a new skating engine called True Performance Skating, really focusing on the explosiveness, the top-end speed, momentum of players, and the creativity, and over 1,000 animations driving the new system. And the interesting thing is the skating system changed our gameplay so much that we ended up spending more time on our AI this year to round out that gameplay experience than we have in the past 3 years combined. So that's kind of the core of our gameplay overhaul. And then we've added 2 brand new modes to the game. One called GM Connected, which is the largest multi-user online dynasty mode ever seen in a sports game. And what that means is over 750 people anywhere in the world can connect to a single league. So you can be the commissioner, you can have 29 of your friends, each control a team, and each be a GM in the league. You can have, if you're not very good on the controls, like a lot of people are scared of the controllers and too many buttons on it, things like that, you can get your buddies to actually play the games for you. So you can have up to 24 people on your team anywhere around the world playing the games for you in an OTP-style environment. And then the second new mode for us this year is called NHL Moments Live. And then what that is, it's a scenario mode. And, we realize that people have less time this year with all the distractions and all the devices and things like that. So it's a bite-sized gaming experience where you can play scenarios from the past NHL season, anything from scoring Stamkos's 50th goal to reliving Gagne's incredible night where he had the 8 points and trying to beat Gretzky's record of all-time points in a game. And the great thing about this is, as EA Sports as a whole moves towards live service, is when the season kicks off, the NHL season kicks off, we'll have new scenarios that come up that when we deem worthy of something we want people to play in our game, we can work with the NHL, get actual footage of the scenario, put that in the console, and people can relive, recreate or change history based on a scenario that happened in real life. So it's about adding content after we ship.
Why do you think the NHL franchise, again, this sort of, you've answered this, addressed it, but why do you think it's been so popular? I mean, you sort of touched on the fact that people just want to consume hockey in a different way, I guess. Yeah,
I think it's been popular just because it's a different means for people to consume hockey, like you mentioned. And for us, the sport itself is the perfect sport for a video game. We always joke around here that if hockey didn't exist and you were going to come up with a sport to make a video game from, you would probably come up with something like hockey. So when you talk about the speed of the players and the athletic ability of the players and the physicality of the sport and the fact that there's no out of bounds, there's a board so you can actually hit people into, and there's a goalie protecting the net. So I think the speed and the finesse and the aggressiveness of the sport and the fighting all lend itself to making a great video game from. And we say this, one of our biggest compliments that we can get is when someone says, I'm not a big hockey fan, but I've heard about your game and I heard it's a great game. And now because of you guys, I'm driving my son to hockey practice, and I live in California at 5 o'clock in the morning. So for us, it's about just creating a great game and creating hockey fans.
Sean, favorite NHL team, the one that you like to use in the game?
Well, my favorite NHL team is the Vancouver Canucks, diehard fan. However, the Philadelphia Flyers are my favorite team to use in the game.
Best NHL 13 player to have on the roster?
Claude Giroux is pretty fun to play with, but I'll throw one more out there. Anze Kopitar is another fun player this year.
Yeah, I can imagine. The best goalie or the best forward overall, do you think?
Best goalie, I'm going to go with Mr. Jonathan Quick, who now has Stanley Cup under his belt. And the best forward, I actually like Marian Gaborik. Just the speed, strength, and the skill. The package is there.
Favorite video game that is not NHL 13?
I am a huge fan of Fallout. Fallout 3 was probably my favorite game of all time. I've got Fallout New Vegas sitting at home waiting to play, but NHL 13 is consuming all my time.
What is your favorite thing about the game?
For me, being the lead producer on the game, it really is the entire package that we put together this year. But if I had to pinpoint one thing, it's the True Performance Skating, which really, really is a game changer for us and fundamentally changes the way the game, feels and plays.
Don't know if there's a big gamer out there or if it's just somebody in the office, but who do you hate playing against?
Anybody that can beat me.
You too, eh?
Yeah.
Favorite snack while playing the game?
Does a barley sandwich count as a snack?
It does, and we'll accept
I'll go
it.
with the barley sandwich.
Love the barley sandwich. I got away from peanuts, made my hands too slippery, and guys were taking advantage of it. Claude Giroux, good pick for the cover?
Phenomenal pick for the cover. Just, what we've been going for the past couple of years, that young, up-and-coming superstar that has a great personality, and seeing him in 24/7 really solidified for me how great of a cover athlete he would be.
I know NHL 13 is not even out yet, but what will be your next innovation for the series? Are we talking 3D, player agents, labor strife? What might we see in the future?
For us, we'll just continue to try and raise the bar. Raise the bar for hockey games through innovative new features, and for us, it's about raising the bar, ideally for sports games as a whole, and even games outside of sports too, and come up with the next industry standard. That's what we strive for every year.
Just about done. Are there any Easter eggs or shortcuts you can tell us about?
Too many legal issues these days to put those Easter eggs in there, to be honest with you.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we'll leave that one alone. A favorite move?
My favorite move? Oh, I like going toe drag. And, some of the best players online use the toe drag very effectively. The toe drag is my favorite move.
I hate the toe drag when it gets put on me. I hate that one. I always bite. Biggest star that loves the game. The best endorsement.
Oh, best endorsement. Well, I got to say that playing the game against Gretzky was pretty cool. So seeing him with the controller in his hand and actually playing against him, I don't know if it gets much bigger than that in the hockey world.
It does not get any bigger or cooler. That is very cool. And finally, one good excuse to give NHL 13 spouses who are ignored for the first week of when the game comes out, such as my wife, who I've told her I will be unavailable. I need a good excuse to pass off to her.
Let's call it the early Christmas excuse. Need a week off to plan. Oh, how about this? We got to plan the present shopping for the wife. You need a week to kind of sit around and just be in your own zone and play NHL and think about that.
That is good enough for me. Sean, thank you so much. Good luck with the game, and I wish you guys all the success. Hopefully lots of sales and a lot of people enjoying the game here in the next week or so.
Thanks very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Take care, Sean.
Take care, you too.